In the first video, I'll be creating an interactive book, and within the book, I'll create drag and drop content. My first step in creating the interactive video is to add content. And the choice we want to select is interactive book. And once we do that, we'll give it a title name. And then we want to enable the book cover. And within the book cover, we have to have an image. So I'm going to call it, first of all, drag and drop. Okay, and then a media cover. So I go to images, add, and then I'm going to search for images that I've had from the past. It's under quiz images. And I know I have one called for resistors. It's right here. The other thing you typically want to do is add some metadata, and I'm just maybe going to give it a name for resistors. Save that, and I think that's all I need to have here. So drag and drop, image, metadata. I think we're done. And click on save. Okay, and what you would end up with is a page that looks like this. It just has some content on the cover, and then if you want to start the quiz, you go to read. But we don't want to do that right away. We want to go to edit. Now that we've created the cover page, we want to go up to edit, and we're going to create a new content type. So I'm going to select drag and drop. I'm going to give it a name as well. The next step is to go to settings, and in settings we want to add an image for our background. So click on add image. I already have one created called resistors in a box. Okay, and the next step is to go to task. And the first thing that we want to do is click on add drop zones. And I'm going to create one drop zone, and the first resistor was the 4.7K. So I'm going to give it that name, but don't add a label at this point. Click on done. And you can see that there's a box there. I'm going to resize it to make it a little bit bigger. And then I'm actually going to use the copy and paste tool. So here, select copy, and then paste 4 times. And then we're just going to align these approximately to the 4 resistors. But we have to change the names for the other resistors. So you do that by double clicking. And you can see this is 4.7K. We want to label this 10K. And click done. And this 1K. Done. Labeling the names is important for the step that we do next. Okay, so now we have 4 names for each of these boxes, but they're not visible. So now we go to text, and you can see that we have 4 drop zones, one for each resistor, but we're going to start off with the name of the first resistor, which was the 4.7K. Type that again and select all of the drop zones. So when we move that box, it's going to make all drop zones visible. So you can see that up here, and I'm going to just resize this a little bit and put it into this space that I've made available. And the other thing you can do here as well is do copy and paste. So copy and paste 4 times. Sorry, 3 times. And you'll have to change the name of each one of these, but it makes it a little faster. So going back to this second one that I have to rename, I'm going to call it the 10K. There are a lot of steps here. I'm going to leave these drop zones the same. and this is going to be the 1K. Double click. And then the 560. And there might be enough space to put ohms. Let's just see. Yes, there was. So now we have the 4 text boxes. They're all properly labeled. Now the next part is you actually have to go back to each of these boxes. Okay, I'm going to click on here. And this menu is a little bit different now. It says select the correct elements. And the correct element for this one is the 4.7K box. So I select that and done. Go back up to here, and this is going to be the 10K. So I select 10K. And notice it says select the correct elements, which is different than before. And this is the 1K. And then finally the 560. And I think when you've done that, you've completed these steps. Okay. The other area that you may want to change is behavioral settings. And I think I have everything that I want set up here. Okay, but sometimes you might want to make a change. Once you've done that, I'm going to go all the way to the top and click on Save. Let's do a final test of our drag and drop content. So one of the things I'm going to change before we do that is I think apply penalties was turned on, and I usually turn this off because if you make, let's say there are 4 choices and you make a mistake, it'll be deducted from 3 that you were able to get right. The other thing that I sometimes will change is give 1 point for the whole task. In this example, I'll have 4 points for the task, but you can make it just 1 point for the entire task. So once you've done that, you've made those changes, go back up to Save, and then we're going to test it out. So you get this menu, the students will see this menu, click on Read, and then you go to the 4 items that you have here, and you can change the order. Let's actually do that. So I'm going to go back up to Edit, because right now they're in the same order as the question. So I'd go back to Tasks, and I'm going to put 560 at the top, 4.7K down at the bottom. Oops, mistake here. It's down at the bottom. 560 up here, and let's reverse these 2 around. Okay, so now we have those 4 items. Go back up here and save. Let's test it out by going to Read, and then we're going to drag the 560 to here, and you'll notice that the box highlights a bit when you're in the right zone. The 1K to here, 10K, and 4.7K, and then click on Check, and it looks like we got all those right. So that's the end of this demo. Thank you.